I don't know what to say, really.
They don't give us respect, but we about to take it today. Why?
We got one of the best. You better check your reference.
One inch at a time. You find out life's this game of inches. Now, what are you gonna do?
Ice up, son. Ice up.
What's up? What's going on? It's Blow the Whistle. I'm your boy, your host, Dee, the dopest therapist.
Oh man, this thing not your average therapist, and you know how we do every week here on Blow the Whistle, season 2. We rocking and rolling, D, man.
Man, we rocking and rolling, loving this season 2. Loving it. We're in a different little spot. We ain't in the studio this week, but you know, we're in different spots, but you can talk on this platform anywhere, right? You feel me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We make it happen, man. We make it happen. So who we got this week? We've had some dope interviews so far.
Yeah. Oh man, we have
came out with some bangers.
We have the Super Bowl champion for the Baltimore Ravens, Lional Dalton.
Oh,
it's a great story. An old teammate of mine, man. He just has a great personality. A new author of a book that I'm sure he's going to talk
about that.
Talk about that, as well as some personal hurdles that he's had to climb or get over, rather, still trying to get over post career. So man, I'm excited for him. I'm blessed to still have a relationship with him that we can communicate. And when I talked about him coming on the show, he was elated with the opportunity and said, man, I'm an open book. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. We're definitely going to get into it. You know how we do here on Blow the Whistle. We integrating sports and mental health, but we're getting up underneath that helmet now. So we're talking about the emotional, the psychological, the physical impact through life. So we're gonna definitely dive into it, Mr. Dalton, today, and I'm looking forward to this one. Like Baltimore, Super Bowl champ, played 9 seasons.
Yeah.
He was on that Ravens team that, hey, if you scored 20 points on them, you were lucky.
You were lucky. You was lucky. So the interesting thing about Blow the Whistle, I'm glad you told the audience that it's an integrative interaction about sports and mental health. We're just using celebrities, so to speak. Guys who you don't necessarily know by face, you know them by name. But now you can get to see them, the human side of it. You can see the personal side of that person and understand that, we all deal with anxiety. If anybody's walking around here talking about they don't deal with some level of stress and anxiety, they're truly lying. I believe that. And so to have someone that you've read about, maybe seen in the newspaper, read his book or anything, that's highlighting that person, and then to be on this stage and this platform and watch them be so transparent and open about their own personal life and triumphs and challenges, that's a blessing in itself, man. And so, if anything, you know, I want the audience to understand why we do this, why Blow the Whistle has even been created. Okay, to open up and get rid of the stigma that mental health is for crazy people or mental health is just for a certain population. Mental health is just as important as your nutrition and your physical health, as your spiritual health, and it's primary, and it's what we're gonna talk about. So let's get it.
Hey, man. Hey, you said it all right there, and I love it that it's Black men.
That's right.
You got Black male therapists on this platform. You got I would say 90% Black men that's coming on the show. And, you know, like you said, we're reducing that stigma that's associated with mental health, especially here in the Black community, because we struggle, you know, being able to express ourselves emotionally, you know, physiologically as well as psychologically. So, you know, we say this every week, man. I enjoy the platform. I enjoy the conversation. I'm ready to dive into another one, man.
Let's get it. I'm ready. D.
What's up, D?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm chilling, brother. How you doing?
Oh, great, man. Highly blessed, and thank you for the asking, but more so, thank you, man, for coming on this show. You know, taking the time out of your schedule. I know you're a busy man, and some things we'll talk about how you're so busy. I know you're a family man as well, so just to take the time. I want, on behalf of Blow the Whistle, me and my co-host Dane, we want to say thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. What's up, brother?
Thank you for joining the show, man. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Saw you on the field definitely over the years, and I definitely want to dive into some things that you've been highlighting post-career and talk about some of those things and, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all those good things. So, again, glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Okay.
LD, man, let's dive right into it. Ain't no sense in the small talk of it, man. You know, how was the transition been, you know, post career? You know, and what has it taken a toll? Has it not taken a toll? What kind of challenges, if you had any, have you faced?
I think it's been like a wave, man. In the beginning, I was excited. I had to go to training camp. You know, I got to relax and chill and travel. But then eventually, you get bored. You know, I was a young man. I finished around 33. So, you know, you went on that first. You know, once you get done on the hype of just traveling and having fun, you realize you still got most of your life to live. So I went through a depression trying to figure out what I wanted. And it was a friend of mine that got me to coach Little League football. I got into that a little bit. Then I realized I am too intense to coach Little League football. I got kicked off the field because I was out there acting like I was running an NFL game with a bunch of 8-year-olds.
Right.
And, you know, it's waves, man. You have your waves. And then I finally got into writing and doing yoga and meditation. And that kind of helped me, you know, level out a little bit and to put me in the space I am right now.
Again, thank you for sharing that. And just to chime on or kind of highlight, like you said, this practicing yoga and some alternative methods, treatment-wise, what are some things that you feel like during this transition, as far as just with athletes in general, what have you found helpful to help in that transition and adjusting, like you said, implementing yoga, just meditative practices and things like that? What would you say is one of the most beneficial things that's been helpful in that transition for you?
For me, and when I first left, I was going through I had a lot of anxiety trying to figure out exactly what I was who was I off the field? I knew I was on the field, but off the field. And who was I going to be once I left the game? And so I started reading, and I read a book from Russell Simmons called The Millionaire Mindset. And he spoke on yoga. So I went and tried yoga, and it got to the point that I was doing it 5 days a week. And it really helped me ground myself and like move past my anxiety issues, because that was what big with me. I was having anxiety. I was taking stress tests. I thought I had a heart attack at one point, but I found it was anxiety. But just finding out, for me, it was about finding out who I was off the field, which helped me ground myself and helped me transition after the game.
Man, it's interesting that you talk about, that you mentioned the fact that you thought it was, you were having a heart attack. What it came out to be that, you know, it was the level of your stress that almost was equivalent to a feeling of a heart attack.
Right.
And they say, stress is a silent killer. And you talked about how anxiety kind of overwhelmed you, and how, you had to kind of find yourself, who you were. A lot of people, man, LD, find, are stuck in that kind of crossroads of not necessarily knowing who they really are. A lot of times, and later on in life, you realize you've been doing something for somebody else's satisfaction or for somebody else's image, and you haven't been able to do that. So, how do you, if that person was sitting next to you, how do you advise them or support them and being able to, kind of jump over that mental hurdle like you obviously had?
I would recommend first going to counseling as soon as they need to have a debriefing from the NFL or any type of sport that involves physical contact, because that becomes a part of who you are, the physicality of it. I think that's why you see a lot of brothers have domestic issues or drinking issues when they finish, because that all plays into the whole persona of being, of an athlete, if that makes sense. But I really recommend debriefing, going to mental counseling, really doing a deep dive and trying to figure out who you are outside of the game. And a lot of times you don't realize who you are until something, major happens. So for me, like my ex-wife married me as the athlete, but she didn't marry Lionel, she married the athlete. And then when I lost the game, we realized we didn't really have much in common. So it's really about going deep in that, really going inside and figuring out who you are. And once you figure out who you are, then you can find peace and calmness in that, and just settling in and being who you are authentically outside of the game.
Oh man,
that's a word right there.
That's a word right there.
Right.
I was about to blow the whistle, dude. That was a whistle blowing moment right there. Definitely. But Lionel, I definitely wanted to kind of piggyback off of what we were just talking about, this understanding who you are, and you actually published a book called Who the Hell Are We? So talk to us about the book and what kind of led to you diving into that aspect of your expression and writing.
Right. So for me, I grew up like most of us in the church, and my ex-wife was into the Hebrew, the Jewish religion, and so we would go back and forth. And then I started meeting people who were saying we were Native Americans and from Africa. I met people saying we the 12 tribes of Judah. So I was meeting a lot of different people from different sets, different types of Black people that look like me, but saying they were from different parts of the world. So for me and my wife decided that my current wife decided that she wanted to stop doing real estate when she was going for 20 years. And we decided to travel. And during our travels, we did a lot of studying and bonding with other tribes. So we traveled for about a year through Africa, Southeast Asia, China, Australia, and Thailand and Bali area. And we were just pretty much going in, learning about different people, learning about different cultures, and trying to figure out who the hell are we? You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard so much from different people, but I needed to find out for myself. And so we wrote about it in the book. I wrote about my journey of self-discovery in the book. That's pretty much what it was, what I learned from traveling for all those months.
Awesome. Wow. So in that exploration in your travels and things like that, you're focusing on your emotional health, the psychology, trying to understand your roots and where you're from. But then also that there was another chapter that kind of came up over the last few years, and we're talking about physical health. And oftentimes, especially here on this platform, we like to reduce the stigma associated with mental health and carry it just as heavy as we would our physical health. We get physicals every year, we get checkups, all of those things, but we don't do the emotional checkups, or the psychological checkups. So talk to us a little bit about your physical health. How are you now? But also, how did that kind of impact you on an emotional level going through those health issues?
Well, for me, I would always get checked up, and the doctor told me I was fine. But I was also 360 pounds, and carrying that weight put a lot of stress on the organs. And what I wasn't doing was I was having high blood pressure. It would come and go. And so I wasn't having a stroke or a heart attack, but that pressure was causing issues to the veins that's connected to in my kidneys. And so what happened was, for me, not losing the weight, putting that stress on my organs, and not, I wasn't big on taking medication. Mm-hmm. Over the history of taking, Motrin and all the Toradol shots when I played, all those medications put stress on my kidneys, which caused me to have stage 4 renal failure. And which I found out in 2020, January of 2020.
I feel for you, bro, because I understand not necessarily what you experienced, but that process that has, made this what it is. Mm-hmm. Man, just for you to, come to that realization, is a total body experience when it comes to mind, body, and spirit with this type of diagnosis, man. Like, how's your day to day? Because you're not the only one in America dealing with, this type of illness or whatnot. How does your day to day as you're approaching?
So I have to go to dialysis right now 3 days a week for about 4.5 hours. Which sucks because, that's like a big chunk of your day. And in the beginning, it was very, I was sick all the time, but it's because I was still eating those foods that took me to this place. And so I did some research, and I met a doctor out of Australia who said something about fasting and lowering my food consumptions slowed down the deterioration process of the kidney. And then I also did some research on my own and found about eating a vegan lifestyle also helps. So what I've noticed is I've lost 110 pounds since I started the fasting. And I noticed that when I'm leaving the clinic, I have a little more pep in my step than most of the other people in the clinic. And so what I did pretty much a 360 on how I eat, what I can eat, when I eat, and how often I eat. And that's pretty much, I actually feel pretty good to be dealing with this. I'm doing better than most people dealing with what I have, and I think I contribute most of that to my lifestyle changes.
Wow.
How long have you been on the vegan diet?
I've been on the vegan diet now since March of 2020. So I got dialysis in January. Yeah, about March, April of 2020. Wow. And I've been vegan, but I also been doing the fasting. So I only eat between 12 and 5 o'clock every day.
That's definitely.
It was definitely difficult in the beginning, but I definitely can feel the difference in my thought process, how I move, my energy. Fasting really helps. It's helped a lot. And there's actually been a few people who actually didn't need a transplant who did the diet that I'm doing for like a year straight, because it's definitely intense. But it's been people who got off dialysis by changing their lifestyle. It's not a lot, but so I'm trying to do everything I can naturally, just in case I don't find a donor, So I'm trying to prolong this process because I got young kids, so I'm trying to be around as long as possible.
Absolutely. And then talking about that, I read that you were connected with this foundation called Living Legacy Foundation. And can you talk about that a little bit, your involvement as a catalyst for change, as an advocate, but also as a person that's dealing with, kidney disease and things like that?
So when I was in Baltimore, it was Ernest Biner was over player development, and all the jobs, they had little side jobs you could make money in the off season. They were all gone. So he had 2 positions, but in 2 of them, they were not paying gigs, but I wanted to do something in the community. And so I chose Living Legacy. I knew nothing about it, but I ended up finding out about it. I ended up doing a public service announcement for them, and it was about, transplants and donating organs. I did that back in 2000, and then I moved to Atlanta in January 2019. My wife, I had a basement. I lived in Florida We don't have basements in Florida, so we got a basement. So I had a little man. I was excited. I got a man cave. I ain't had one. My wife put up all my pictures and trophies and stuff I've earned throughout my career. And I saw a poster that I got from Living Legacy back in 2000, and I ain't seen it in a while. They gave it to me for Christmas for thanking me for doing the commercial for them. And I looked on the back, and it was like they all signed it and put their phone number. So what I'm dealing with the kidney thing, I reached out to them so maybe they can connect me with some hospitals in Baltimore. Well, after calling them, they ended up linking me up with Good Morning America, and then I've done ESPN. I've been doing a lot of talk shows ever since I linked up with them, and I've actually had 2 people right now because of that interview being tested as potential donors.
Wow.
So it was like what my grandmother said, God has a sense of humor. Because I did that favor back then, and now they doing me a favor now when I need it the most.
Wow.
So that's what grandma used to say, paying it forward, right?
Right, paying it forward.
Right. Now they understand, man. It's amazing to listen to you because just in your natural vernacular and conversation, you're sharing, different things, coping skills, if you will, that people can use in their time of stress and anxiety, even though it's not dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with. It's ways to get over the hurdles, and just how you're talking, you're speaking and teaching. And so it's great to hear that, man. It's never, not good obviously to hear the story, but to hear the man behind it and the mind and the heart he has behind it. That I know that's taking you a long way, and that's a motivation for you, and it's an inspiration for all of us. And it is our prayers and hopes that that transplant comes and that donor comes tomorrow. It's a day late today.
Yeah, it's gonna come, brother. It's gonna come. I'm manifesting it.
That's right.
I'm manifesting
Absolutely.
it.
So, Lionel, one more question for me. And I guess it's just a generalization when you're looking back at your career and just thinking about the up and coming athletes and the athletes that are in the league right now. What would be kind of like your message in regards to ensuring that not only you're taking care of your body physically, but also from a mental standpoint, implementing those things on a day-to-day basis with y'all. So what's kind of your advice to those athletes now as far as maintaining your physical, but also your mental?
Man, what I would have done, I would have definitely kept a serious meditation routine while I played. I would recommend for the guys who carry a lot of weight to lose that weight as soon as you get out of the league. Because I probably wouldn't be in the situation I'm in if I would have lost that weight as soon as I finished playing. And just always find something other than football to get joy from. Because once you leave, you're going to need to find something else anyway. So when you're in the off season, find something else you love just as much as the game, or not even more. So once you transition, won't be as tough because you can fall into something that you really love and not miss the game as much. You're going to miss it, but not miss it to the point where depression kicks in. And so that's what with me, when I found something else I love doing just as much as football, that's when I started to feel better. And so I would recommend guys learn that early while you're in the game so the transition won't be as tough.
Told you. He was going to spit jewels and be an open book.
Absolutely.
LD's, I want to promote your brand. If there's anything that you have going on, anything that we can publicize and market right now, I want you to speak on it. I believe in what you got going on and want to support for wholeheartedly.
Well, I'm trying to stay busy, so I got I got my book, Who the Hell Are We? That's on my Facebook page, Lional _ Jelly Roll _ Dalton. You can go find out more about kidney health and learn more about the process of donating kidneys at newkidneyforjellyroll.com. And that's it right now, man. And just raising these kids. I started over.
Well, last thing, Lionel, you just mentioned it, and I was going to bring it up, but where did the nickname Jelly Roll come from?
high school. My high school coach came from Alabama. He was from the backwoods of Alabama. In Detroit, we used to, at the end of the track meets, the shop, they would make all the fat boy track for like 50 yards. And so we had to take off our shirts. I guess it was just to be fun. And so I won the race, and my coach ran up to me and said, "Damn, look at that, must be Jelly, because Jam don't move like that." He said, "Jelly, your fat butt was rolling." And then everybody started laughing, calling me Jelly Roll. And I was mad at first. And then a young lady walked up to me and said, "Oh, you Jelly Roll, huh?"
Oh, that was it.
And after the young lady said it like how she said it, I'm like, okay, I'll be Jelly Roll for you. And it's stuck ever since, man. It's stuck.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, Bud, again, man, I know you're busy. You've spoken some things that you got going on. I love your heart, man. I appreciate you giving us your time and your information and just your motivation. You motivate, us as you speak, and those who are listening, I know you'll do the same. We appreciate you. Love you, man, and we're praying that all goes well. I'll keep following you. Follow this man. What's the Instagram? Yeah. Follow this man on Instagram.
It's Lional, Lional _ Jelly Roll, JELLYROLL _ Dalton, DALTON. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
So you guys make sure y'all follow Lional on all his social medias and cop that book. I'm definitely going to order that myself. Definitely have to do that. For sure. Get that. We definitely support everything that you got going on. Again, best wishes. Get well soon. We're going to speak that into existence. It's going to happen. We're putting those positive affirmations out there.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
LD, Super Bowl champ, Jelly Roll. We appreciate you, bud.
Kidney, what's it called? Renal Survivor. That's I'm putting that in there.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely. Renal Survivor. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother. Anytime, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Salute to you. See you soon. All right. Dope stuff, man.
Dude, told you, man. I just get a kick out of how open they are.
Yeah.
A lot of times, when we growing up, this is even when I was playing. If you asked about doing something like this, it would be a different reaction.
Right.
Now because it's a little more common to be able to say mental health. Okay. Mind strong.
Yeah.
It's okay to say those things, and for these gladiators, you know what I mean? These gladiators to come to a place where they can confidently and boldly be so transparent in their sharing, man. It's just a blessing for me to hear. If nobody listened to this, it's a blessing for me,
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You definitely dropped some jewels. We haven't been blowing the whistle, man. We missing out on all these whistle blowing. So y'all fans, y'all know we like to blow the whistle on here, and we just been so engulfed in the conversation that we've just been missing the blow it. But we here though. So again, you guys, make sure, especially us black men, make sure we get these checkups. Make sure we're taking mental health as well as our physical health. Very important. Making sure we're around as long as we can be. Check on your diet, man. I don't know if I can be a full-fledged vegan, but I'm definitely cutting back on some of those meats, man.
Saying that he motivated me with that one as well, man. The ebbs and flows of, just your health, your diet, all those things. It correlates with your mental health, man. And he talked about that, how that stuff is, and we especially Americans, we consume food. For so many reasons. When we're mourning, when we're happy, when it's a celebratory event, everything is food consumption. Right. Tasting this, tasting that, and we have good reason to do it. But in the long haul, sometimes you got to realize that it is affecting our longevity in life. It is affecting our legacy.
Right.
It is affecting our mentality as well. And if those things are important to you, then, we got to be an agent of change and change some things.
Right.
And that's hard to do, trust me. But I motivate myself by saying, listen, food can't control you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, think about that.
Yeah.
Let's be mind strong enough that don't allow that food to control you.
Right.
You take control of it. So, it's kind of, a mental battle that even, current pros, old pros, regular Joes, doesn't matter, it's what they go through, man. And I feel bad that he understood that's kind of what, led to it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm amazed at his mindset, how strong and peaceful he is with his current situation, the faith that he has. But he's a God-fearing man, so I don't question that, and I know where his confidence comes from.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, man, we gotta check those diets, man. We gotta eat to live, not live to eat.
Say it again.
You know what I mean? So just being able to utilize the resources that we do have, the information that we do have, because we were ignorant, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, man. And that's all it was, D, is we were just ignorant to it. Ignorant is when you never knew. Dumb is when you know and you keep doing it. Okay?
Exactly.
We were just ignorant then. Now we're being dumb. I'm not trying to be harsh, but yes, that's what it is right now. What I'm saying? We know better. They have alternatives. They have, man, I just had a family cookout a couple weeks ago, and rib, chicken, the whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
I also had my little plant-based burgers over here, right? And you know what I'm saying? So, because I was conscious, and some people in my family they're so into their ways,
Right.
It gets us, we are in our own way.
Yeah,
they won't even try something different to be an agent of change, even though it'll help. Pretty much tastes the same and all that, but it'll help. And you say, no, I ain't doing that. I want the bad stuff.
Right.
So,
man,
just the mentality.
Right. Yeah, man. And just having those conversations and listening to people and reading. And one person, I forgot who it was, but what they said stuck out to me. And they said, you've never seen an angry plant or an angry tree. You know what I'm saying? It was one of our guests, if I'm not mistaken.
You are what you eat.
You are what you eat. So, we take on the personality of the things that we eat. So if we eat animals all the time, that's where that aggression and, that type of emotion come from. But plants, they grow and bloom and they blossom and, they still, you know what I mean? They're at peace. So again, I'm not saying I'm becoming a vegan, but I definitely understand and I actually kind of watch what I need. But I'm
not there yet. I still my craving for a little hamburger.
Every now and then.
Every now
and then, you might have a little sirloin or something like that, a little small joint. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, check us out. Get us on our Gmail. Get us on our Instagram. Go and subscribe on YouTube. It's real easy. It's a click of a button. If you love what Blow the Whistle is doing, support us to the max. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep it going. I'm Dee and Dame's therapist. My co-host, Dame, not your average therapist. Two black males is trying to do something, be pioneers. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man. We rocking and rolling. Season 2, man. Blow the Whistle. We in here.
Holla.
We're going to catch y'all next time. Another one. Peace.